And we're here to talk about a big subject on today's media and today's schools, anywhere you go, H1N1.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about this extremely controversial vaccination?
Well, it is controversial because there's lots of information being presented both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is, what do you know? What does your body know about this vaccine?
What do you mean, what does my body know?
Well, what's being vaccinated? Your body.
Yeah.
You, your body. But we tend to associate you with the mind, or at least our mental capacities. So the body that's going to be receiving the vaccination has already a vitality of its own, and it knows whether something's going to be good for it or not. So, what if we actually ask the body, what do you know?
So you're suggesting that even though everyone in my office, every media that's out there is suggesting that I should be lining up along with the millions of other people to get this shot, I should be turning around and asking my body if it wants to receive this shot?
Yeah, because everybody is different, and not everybody responds the same way to medication. So some people are going to have a more fervent reaction to the vaccination or to not having the vaccination. So ideally, it doesn't matter your age, you know whether something's going to be good for you. It's called awareness. We know, we have the awareness of whether something we choose is going to be something that's better us, is for our betterment, is going to create more aliveness, or something that's going to create a problem.
So you're saying that I have a choice on whether I take it, and I should be asking my body on whether this will be something that will be nourishing, good for it. What questions would I ask?
Well, first of all, we always have choice. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that we so would like somebody to tell us what we should do for ourselves. Right? Everybody wants to not have to be responsible for our choice.
Absolutely.
But the bottom line is, even if you choose to do the vaccination, you're still going to have to be responsible for your choice. And we like to blame everybody and say, oh, they made us do it. You showed up for the vaccination.
Yep.
So if you're going to choose the vaccination, be sure you're choosing the vaccination. Not because somebody or something or media instilled fear and said, oh my God, what if this is no different than any other flu season? What do you usually do for the flu or flu season? And there are things we can do. We'll talk about that in a second. But the key here is what would it take for us to be aware? And just because you have the vaccination doesn't make you all free and clear. You don't get to go back on autopilot. You're still going to be asking the question, wow, just because I had the flu vaccination, am I now going to be free and clear and I now have the credit card to do whatever I want in my life and I won't get sick?
Well, that's what they're suggesting. They're suggesting that if you have the vaccination, you will not get this H1N1 and be at risk to die.
And will you get something else? And will your immune system be suppressed? And then you'll get something else? We haven't talked about the other stuff that occurs. This is one virus.
Yeah.
How many hundreds? How many thousands? How many millions of viruses are there? So where did we get the idea that this one virus is going to make all the difference in the world? If your immune system's already lousy, then you'll probably get something anyways.
So if I understand, I mean, even though I'm asking myself the question on whether this virus, this vaccination will be something that will be good for me, whether it will make me healthier or not, you're also just asking the question on what are you doing to take care of yourself anyhow?
Right, exactly. What are you doing for yourself? But let's go back one step, and if we're talking about the choice, how do I choose whether or not to do the vaccine? Mm-hmm. So there's a variety of ways we can do this. There are some people that have a really great connection with their body, meaning they're really connected, meaning they are aware of when things are going well or not going well. Some people know when they've got to fine-tune something. Everybody's gotten the hint. I might be eating too much pizza. I might need a few more vegetables.
Oh, sure.
I should back off a little bit on my sugar. It's not only the weight that's causing the problem. I'm just not feeling as good as I usually do. Yeah. You know, I noticed I haven't exercised in about 2 months. Might be a good idea to go for a walk. Like, all of those things are part of our daily reality. How many of us actually listen to ourselves? You know, some people call it the little voice. Some people have a louder voice.
Yeah.
And how much trust do we have of our own knowledge of ourselves, our own knowingness?
So if I listen to you there and I would put myself in the category of I don't really listen to myself. I do have the little voice, but I don't really listen to
All
it.
right. So join the crowd.
Okay.
Because we're all like that.
Okay.
But does that mean if we vaccinate that we're good to go? And that's the fallacy here, and that's the problem. So it's not so much whether the vaccine's good or bad, because that's a whole other discussion.
Right.
The truth is, for you, what works for you? And everybody being different, everybody's going to react different. What works? So how do you know that? So there's a couple of ways you can do that. One is when you ask yourself whether or not the vaccine is going to be a good thing for you or not, one of the things you can check is the energy of something. So is something light? Does it feel like you can breathe easier? Does it feel like, you know, that sense of when something feels good?
Right.
Or does it feel heavy? It feel like you just loaded yourself with cement. You know, the weight on the weight of the world on your shoulders is more intense. It doesn't feel so good.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody has a different way of experiencing light and heavy. I'm calling it light and heavy. It could be expansive, contracted.
But isn't that the media? Doesn't the media sort of dictate whether it's light or heavy?
Right, only if you're buying it from the mental state. But we're asking the body, if I do this vaccination,
okay,
right away I can ask, is that going to be light or is it going to be heavy? Do I feel like it's harder to breathe or is it lighter to breathe? And it'll be different for everybody. Now people are saying, well, I have kids. I have to do what the schools say. No, you don't. I have to do this because my kids can't make that choice. That's true. And that's what being a parent is, making those tough calls.
Okay, now that's but now if you ask the question, what if in that very moment that you ask the question that you're not really present, like you're just asking the question because you have to make a choice? I mean, my concern is that you're not really present, aware, that's the word.
Well, you can only make a choice from the level of awareness that you're at.
Okay.
Okay? The next thing is well, if you'd like to be more aware, there are things for everybody that make them more aware. And everybody's got their own routine. Some people it's a walk in the trees or in the Mount Royal or the woods, and that's what creates a lot more peace and ease in their bodies. And they feel more connected then. Some people it's an intense bike ride or like an aerobic workout. I feel most clean and clear after I've done that. Some people it's meditating, some people it's yoga, some people probably playing with their family, feeling really connected in their world.
And you can ask this question each day. I mean, if I sign up for this shot and then I'm on the list and now I know I'm part of the group taking the second round of injections that they're giving, I can ask this question continuously up until the time I take it and say that, you know, trying to build an awareness, trying to make a connection to know if it's right for me or not right for me.
I think it's a great question. We tend to like to do the one question that lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
If I get to ask this question and I get the answer, I don't ever have to be aware or answer that question again. The truth of it, it's not so. Okay? I mean, suppose you're doing great and all of a sudden you decide to travel to some country like Mexico, which we didn't know at the time, that had H1N1 in the spring of 2009. So what if you end up asking the question, do I need this vaccination? Or is this trip even the trip I want to be on?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of factors that go into that. But you can actually find yourself in, everybody's got their happy place, so to speak, or the place they feel most connected. Some people it's when they take a bath. Everybody does that. Everybody does their brainstorming, whatever it is, without having to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not engaging the right and wrong list. Well, if taking the vaccine list is 8 long and not taking the vaccine is 3 long, I should take the vaccine.
So you're talking about going with my intuition, going with something that I know that I can't touch.